always talking about the skincare products that you need. Like you hear everyone say, you need to have this skincare product in your life. You need to put this on your face. But it turns out you don't really need every single type of skincare product out there. You can have a really basic skincare routine and it can be a very good one. So today we're gonna talk about the skincare products you don't need. I'm gonna caveat and start this video off by saying most of these products I'm gonna tell you don't need, you've seen me use and I enjoy using them. I think that every skincare product as it's, launched and marketed to us, it serves its purpose. And so, they're good to have, they're nice to have, and I like it, like I love skincare products and I thoroughly love trying them and using them. And so while they're not bad for my skin, they're not necessarily like a need, right? There are some basics that you need and then there are the products that you don't have to have, they're just nice to have. So that's what we're kind of talking about. I'm not telling you guys don't ever buy these products. You don't need it, you're wasting your time, it's bad for you. I'm just gonna say, they're just nice to have. Skincare product you don't need, number one, is Essence. Again, you guys have heard me talk about Essence. I love Essence. It's big in Asian skincare, but what does Essence do? Essence essentially preps your skin for your next skincare product. So as long as your skin is basically damp, your skin's gonna still be ready and prepped for your next skincare product. Because the thought behind it is that when your skin is damp, it's more like a sponge and it's gonna soak up all of those next ingredients that you're gonna put on your skin. Essence is essentially a hydrator, whether it's like very liquidy or it's a little bit more thick and sticky because maybe it's based with a humectant like hyaluronic acid or glycerin. If you're gonna apply a really nice hydrator later on, like a humectant, like a hyaluronic acid serum, or you're gonna put on maybe like a moisturizer that has a lot of humectants in it, then you probably don't really need an essence. So essentially, Essence is just a really nice, luxurious step in your skincare routine. And to be completely honest, there's only so much hydration that your skin can take. And if you really think about the majority of your skincare products, they're all moisturizers, not necessarily hydrators. And I know that that's like a hard thing to wrap your head around, like what's the difference between hydrating and moisturizing? If you're gonna have hydrators somewhere else in your skincare routine, you don't necessarily need an essence. It's just really nice to have. Next skincare product you don't necessarily need, and I know from past videos that I'm gonna get some arguments on this one, but you don't necessarily need a toner. I am sorry, but you do not necessarily need a toner. So the whole purpose of a toner is to balance your skin's pH levels. So the minute you put water on your face, you're changing the pH level of your face, right? You want your skin and your face especially to be a perfect pH level, which is slightly acidic, which means it's like 5.5. That's like perfect, apparently. But if it's anywhere between 4.8 to 6, you're probably doing really, really well in maintaining your skin's pH level. But when you're using a really good cleanser for your skin, something that's very gentle, something that has a really nice pH level, and sometimes you can actually find that whether it's on the website of a product or even on the bottle, it'll tell you what the pH level of your face wash is. And this is one of the reasons why I try to avoid things like foaming face washes and stuff, is they're very drying to me in my personal opinion, but they also tend to not have the right pH levels. Something that's really gentle, like the CeraVe cleanser, the hydrating cleanser, is just a really nice pH level. It's gonna just do what it needs to do, very gently cleanse your skin, and then your skin's gonna be ready for your skincare routine. And so as long as you're, not going really harsh and stripping your skin, you don't really need the toner. I would make exceptions on toners when they're gonna be treatment toners, like something with AHAs, salicylic acid. Those are more like chemical exfoliators, and that's a different type of toner, and it's serving a whole different purpose because it's your exfoliator. And I swear by exfoliators, you do need to exfoliate your skin, but I would say that just a spray toner or like just a gentle toner that you're gonna put on your skin with a cotton pad, you don't necessarily need. Another thing I'm gonna throw out for toner is old school toners are very high in alcohol. And I'm not talking about the emulsifying alcohols, like the fatty ones that make your skin feel nice and soft and smooth. I'm talking about the drying alcohols, like the denatured alcohols. You wanna make sure you're skipping toner with that. That's not gonna help balance your pH. That's actually gonna strip your skin, and it's not going to do your skin any favors. So you wanna make sure you're actually skipping that. Skincare product you don't need, number 3. Micellar water. Again, this is another one, you guys might argue it with me. I know I've already had you dump all of your makeup wipes, so I'm over here now saying micellar water is unnecessary. Again, these are nice products to have. Micellar waters are really nice if you get a good one that's like more of a, you know, humectant based kind of micellar water. You guys have heard me talk about like the CeraVe one. I really like that. I know some people say it makes their eyes burn or something like that. You guys, some products aren't gonna work for you if they work for me, but I like that it has mostly humectants in it and it also has ceramides in it. So it's mostly a hydrating micellar water. I don't even know, I know it has like a preservative or two in it, but I wanna say it doesn't even have true surfactants in it, like the harsh ones. Same with like Bioderma, the OG, like the original micellar water that started the whole trend. That's a pretty good one. You know, if you look at the back of the ingredients, and a lot of you guys ask like, how do I know about the ingredients? You guys, Google is amazing. If there's an ingredient that you don't understand, take 5 minutes and Google each of the ingredients after water, and you're gonna be like, oh, it's amazing how much information I can find out about these ingredients. The only reason why you would maybe need micellar water is maybe if you want to get those last traces of makeup off, like maybe if you had a little bit of mascara that didn't completely come off with your double cleanse, then I guess a micellar water again is a nice product to have, but I get all of my makeup off in my double cleanse. I use an oil-based cleanser first, melt it all down, and then I cleanse it away with a gel cleanser usually, and it's usually all gone, unless I've had like a really heavy makeup day. And then I can understand why you'd use micellar water, but if you're not using that much makeup, you don't need it. Skincare product number 4 that you definitely don't need. You just don't need it. It's eye cream. I've talked about this before. I have an entire video dedicated to why I don't use eye cream at night. Eye cream is just a nicely repackaged version of a moisturizer. I got lots of arguments from only estheticians, which was kind of interesting because I would have loved to have heard from chemists about this. There's differences between like an eye serum and eye oil. Obviously, like the molecular structure of some of these ingredients changes, but a true eye cream is just a moisturizer. It's a cream, right? They're not changing the way that they create this structure of this cream. You know, it's like you can find a moisturizer that absorbs just as well as your eye cream does, or is just as heavy as your eye cream. You know, it's just like layer more moisturizer if you need more moisture there. It doesn't make a big difference, and you don't need it. There are some eye creams that'll have really strong ingredients to maybe like lighten the area. Maybe it's something like hydroquinone. Maybe some of them have retinol in them. That's different. If you don't want to use a moisturizer that has hydroquinone in it, then maybe get an eye cream, but you don't need it. Skincare product you don't need, number 5, is pore reducing products. I know the struggle with pores, you guys. I know that the majority of you would like to have smaller pores, smaller, less visible pores, and some of you would even take wrinkles over your pores. I understand that completely. The problem is you can't actually change the size of your pores. There are 2 factors. Pores are due to genetics, okay? So if you know like your mom has really big visible pores, likely gonna happen to you too, I'm sorry to say that. 2, it has a lot to do with aging, and so it's all about like the structure of your skin, like how much elasticity do you have, how much collagen do you have, because if you really think about it, you know, it's like your pores might look larger because maybe they're clogged, or maybe, you know, you've lost the elasticity and now your skin looks a little bit saggy, and so the pores stand out a little bit more. But it doesn't change the size of your pores. We can't change the size of our pores. It's like trying to say I can change my height. Like I can't grow any taller and I can't get any shorter, and I can't change the size of my pores, unfortunately. But I can change the way my pores look. I can keep them cleaner and not get them clogged, and I can make sure that they just look smoother, I suppose. And that's where these pore reducing products come into play, is they try to like play on that whole, they can reduce the size of your pores. It's not true. What they're doing is they're probably using ingredients like silicone that help to smooth the appearance of your pores, and it's all temporary and can eventually lead to clogged pores, which eventually leads to worse looking pores. So you gotta really think about this. Like you don't need pore reducing products, and I actually am gonna say they're not even nice to have. I would just say you don't need them, period. Next skincare product you definitely don't need is a face oil. Again, face oils are nice. They serve their purpose. I, again, have another video where I went on this whole rant about why you don't necessarily need a face oil. I think a lot of people are like being led to believe right now that they need face oil in their lives. You don't. They're nice. There are other products that I think are even nicer, that are even better to have in your skincare routine. So if it comes between a nice moisturizer or a nice face oil, I'm always gonna go for the moisturizer. If it's between a nice serum and an oil, They serve different purposes usually, but I'm gonna go with the serum no matter what. It's really hard to say to a person, and especially these days, because I feel like it's really been drilled into our heads that face oils are the must-have skincare product, and what were we doing before face oils? But the truth is, we were doing fine without face oils, without them being a trend. We don't need face oils. All right, next skincare product you don't need, face masks. Face masks are truly a luxury item. They really are. If you have a good skincare routine, you don't need a face mask. If you're exfoliating, you don't need a clay mask, because a clay face mask, for instance, is gonna soak up excess oil. It's gonna help declog your pores and loosen everything up. But if you're exfoliating on a regular basis, then you probably won't have all of that buildup. You probably won't have super oily skin that needs the excess oil to be soaked up if you've just got a good skincare routine. You know, the other types of face masks are the ones that are like really hydrating or have some kind of serum in them, but truly they're just serums, right? Like they're just sitting like a cloth face mask or a hydrogel one that's got some kind of a serum in it. You're just letting it sit on your skin a little bit longer, which again is nice, but is it doing that much of a difference? Not really. It might be like depuffing your skin a little bit. It feels nice. It's just nice to pamper your skin every once in a while, but you don't really need it. You know, if you've got a good skincare routine, you don't need it. Next, you definitely don't need specialized creams. And when I say specialized, I mean the creams that are made for just your hands, the creams that are made for just your feet, the eye creams, the creams that are made for your neck and your décolleté. You just don't need them. They're specialized and they're just marketing. Here's when you use them usually. So like, for instance, if you're gonna use something that's for your neck and your décolleté, it's gonna say that it's got like all these anti-aging ingredients in it, or something that's gonna tighten and help with like elasticity. Well, you know what? If this part of your skin is starting to sag and age, then whatever you're using here needs to be used here, right? You should be pulling all of your skincare down to basically your nipples, right? Somebody actually told me that their husband told her the other day, because he'd heard one of my videos, he was listening to her watch one of my videos, he was like, don't forget, your skincare stops at your nipples. It's true, forehead to nipples. And so if you're using all of your really nice skincare all the way down like that, then you don't need something that's just focused right here at all, because you should be including that into your skincare routine. Your hands, it's nice to have a lotion, I guess a hand lotion that absorbs quicker, but again, if you find a really nice face lotion that absorbs into your skin quickly, it's gonna do the same thing for your hands. Same with your feet. Just put on something that's really thick, something occlusive. There you go. Speaking of specialized creams, the next thing you don't need when it comes to skincare products is cellulite cream and stretch mark cream. Dun dun dun. These are truly marketed to our worst critic in us. Like, we definitely don't want stretch marks, we definitely don't want cellulite, and we all pretty much have it. That's the funny thing, as women, we all definitely have either stretch marks, either cellulite, or maybe a combination of both. The problem is you can't get rid of cellulite with a cream. You just absolutely can't. If you're gonna use a cream for stretch mark, it's usually because it has some kind of active ingredient like retinol, which wouldn't be any different than the retinol that's on your face. So do you need a specialized cream for these areas? No. You can temporarily make the area look nicer, maybe because of like lymphatic drainage or something like that, but you truly need to have a treatment. Like, you need to go see a specialist for cellulite. And they're really, I've only heard of like one treatment that can really get rid of cellulite, and even at that, it's not even proven to get rid of everyone's cellulite, it just works on some people. And as far as stretch marks go, it's like lasers and microneedling and other treatments like that that are gonna help get rid of the appearance of stretch marks. But again, you can't really get rid of them. Not with a cream, I'll tell you that. A cream is definitely not gonna just like get rid of your stretch marks. It might help alleviate the look of your stretch marks, but it won't get rid of it. Next up, product you don't need. Product I don't even actually use. This is one that I truly don't use at all. I have them sometimes sent to me and I'll like give it a little try or something, or like if we're shooting some kind of episode of The Sass and they ask us to use a lip scrub, I'll use it, fine. But lip scrubs are super unnecessary for your lips. First off, you guys know that I think scrubs are harsh on the skin. Same with the lips. The skin on your lips regenerates a little bit faster than the rest of your skin, but it doesn't mean that it wouldn't leave your skin feeling raw on your lips and maybe even drying them out even more as they start to heal from being, you know, really rough. Being like roughhoused? Is that the way we'd say it? If you're really dealing with dry, flaky lips, my best advice for you would be to get a warm washcloth and try to just gently get as much of the flakiness that you can. Then use some kind of lip conditioner that's a humectant based lip conditioner to really get that hydration, and then seal it all in with a nice occlusive balm. And then the last of all the skincare products you don't need, and again, this is one that I tend to use and I really enjoy using, but you don't need it, is a humectant serum. And what I'm talking about are serums that are just purely hyaluronic acid, just purely glycerin. If there are no active ingredients in these serums, then they're just there to add some hydration to your skin. But if you look at a lot of your products, they have humectants in them, right? So humectants are like the hyaluronic acids, the glycerins. If you look at the ingredients in your products, you have so many hydrators that are happening in your products. So if you have an essence, if you have a toner, if you have a micellar water, a lot of the ones I talked about had humectants in them, right? If you have an active serum like a vitamin C, it's likely going to have some kind of humectant in it. Anything that's like soothing to your skin, anything like that, a lot of the time they tend to be humectants. So adding a whole other humectant serum is unnecessary, it's just nice. But then no matter what, you're gonna seal it in with a moisturizer, right? And even sometimes moisturizers have tons of humectants in them. So you have to really look at the ingredients. Your skin can only handle so many humectants and so many moisturizers. And when you really think about, when you go down like the line of all the skincare products we're using, we're adding a lot of humectants, we're adding a lot of moisturizers. Even your SPF is a moisturizer. So you wanna make sure that you're really looking at all of that and just know not to put too much, right? I think that's really, at the end of the day, it's like, you can actually use too many products. I've had you guys ask me that, like when we watch skincare reaction videos together. I've seen you guys say like, aren't these too many products? Like, is that a thing? It can be a thing. There's only so much your skin can take. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you're not doing it on a regular basis, like when you go get a facial, they put a lot of stuff on you and it's nice, it's luxurious. It's not every single day. But on a regular basis in your own skincare routine, do you need a humectant serum? Only if you have really dry skin. So all of that to say, what are the basics that you need in a good skincare routine? And I'm gonna go with a good cleanser, a good double cleanse, which would be an oil-based cleanser to start, and then a gel cleanser, something really gentle on your skin to just get all of it off. If you don't use any makeup and you don't use any SPF, which you should have SPF in a good skincare routine, you don't need a double cleanse at all. You just need one really good cleanser. But a double cleanse will definitely be good for you if you're using SPF like you should. You definitely need some kind of exfoliator. You guys know I'm not really into scrubs, but I wouldn't mind, like if you have really sensitive skin, a nice like papaya enzyme type of exfoliator would be good for your skin. I tend to go for like the AHAs. I'm a big fan of glycolic acid and lactic acid, but I'm not really into the physical scrubs. I just think they're old school. There are some out there. Can't even think of any that I really like. I mean, an enzyme scrub, like a rice enzyme, that would be a physical exfoliator, but I'm not really into the scrubs, you guys. I think you need an exfoliator, not really into the scrubs. Next, you just need a serum. A lot of people argue this one with me. Apparently there's this dermatologist out there that says that you don't need a serum. I disagree wholeheartedly. I don't think that every dermatologist is always correct. Sorry. They're not always there to care for the health of your skin. They're there to diagnose skincare diseases, or the majority of them nowadays, from my opinion, is that they are there to give you treatments, truly. They're there to like fill your face up with some filler, give you some Botox, get in there with like lasers and stuff like that. So they're not necessarily there for the skin health, and that's why I always say like estheticians are really great to know too, and a really good esthetician is nice to have. In my opinion, a serum with some active ingredients, you guys know I love vitamin C, you know I love retinol, is the way to go. So I think that you definitely need a good serum, something that's gonna be active. And then after that, a nice moisturizer, depending on your skin type. Definitely everyone needs a moisturizer, but if you've got oily skin, go with something that's oil-free. If you've got really dry skin, go with something that has some hydrating factors to it also, like ceramides in it, some glycerin, and then something that's a little touch more occlusive that's gonna just lock it all in for you. It's gonna feel really nice and it's gonna be good for your skin. Everyone needs moisturizer. And then last, SPF. If you're gonna go out anywhere during the day, you're gonna step outside, you need to have your SPF. If you're gonna be near a window, you need your SPF. So make sure that you're putting on SPF because the thing that ages us the most is the sun. And those are the basics of a skincare routine. You don't need all of the other products that I mentioned. I like to use some of those products. It's not bad to have some of those products, but they're not necessary. And that's the whole point of this video, is to go over what's necessary and what's not necessary. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I love hearing from you. I feel like I have a very well-educated skincare audience, and that pleases me so much, because sometimes I'm learning from you guys too, or you'll make a good point that I'm like, yeah, you know, that's a good point. That's a really good point. So, you know, find me on Instagram if you wanna have more conversations. I've been taking questions on Twitter lately. It became a thing. I'm just at Susan Yara there and on Instagram. And you can find me also in our private Facebook group. It's called Beauty and Wellness Questions Answered. I'll leave all the links below, and then I'll talk to you soon.